Now, we're going to review the questions to the quiz that we had Friday. Before I do that, I have up here your chem chart that we went over last week that I asked you guys to make sure you become familiar with. We had our key terms, we had our important information, and out to the side we drew our memory devices to help us to remember either what they look like or some kind of a picture that would tell us how, that would give us a reminder of what this information meant. Now, most of what you see here on your chem chart has something to do with your quiz, which is why it is so important that you get familiar with your chem charts. You need to take them home. You need to get familiar with all the information on them. Okay? First of all, we had categorical data, and that is data that can be put into groups directly from your chem chart. Okay? We have numerical data, data that can be put in numerical order. Okay? I want you guys to remember those two definitions in just a minute when we go over the quiz. We have a frequency table. Shows how often something occurs, and usually uses tally marks. And remember, for our memory device, we drew one. Okay? And I think we used dog, cat, fish. And we had 2, 3, and 1 or something like that. Okay? For line plot, we said it organizes data on the number line, uses X's, and works with numerical data, and works with small values. Okay? And I think we were talking about there of the rating of the cafeteria food, and we had 5s, we had 4s, 1s, 2s, something like that. Okay? Now, let's go over the quiz questions. And I want you to see how much this quiz correlated to your chem chart and how important your chem chart was to you. Question number 1, it says, which type of display is the following picture? And we had a picture: football, basketball, baseball, some tally marks, and an empty box. What type of display is that? It was a frequency table. It looked just like what we drew, just like the memory device we drew on our chem chart. Right? Right. Number 2 says, what is the frequency of football? Remember frequency? We said frequency was the total. Okay? So for football, if you count your tally marks, there were 8. Number 3, the frequency of basketball. If you count your tally marks, there were 5. Pretty simple. All you have to do is count those tally marks. Number 4, it says what type of display is the following picture. And you have a number line with X's. So that was a line plot, just like we drew on our chem chart. Okay? Guys, we had too many people miss those 4 questions. And that was simply because we had not studied and become familiar with our chem chart. Okay? All that information was given. Question number 5. What type of data can be put into groups? What type of data can be put into groups? Categorical. Spelled out right there to you on your chem chart. If we had become familiar with the chem chart, it's right there. Question number 6. What type of data can be put in numerical order? Numerical data. Actually, the definition gives the word away. Okay? But also, it was right there on our chem chart. Okay? So, that was the giveaway for the first 6 questions. Okay? Then 7, 8, 9, and 10, you have some data, and it asks for you to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. Which on your other chem chart, we were given all that information as well. Now, I don't have the overhead for that one, but let me read the information. For mean, your chem chart, which you all had and needed to become familiar with, and I ask you guys to make sure you take these home and become familiar with them. Okay? Mean, it's the average. It is found by adding all the numbers together, then dividing by how many numbers there are. Okay, it tells you how to do it on the chem chart. So you add all the numbers together and divide by how many numbers there are to find the mean. The median, the middle number, put numbers in numerical order first. If there are 2 middle numbers, add them together, then divide by 2. Your chem chart tells you all the information you needed to find the median. The mode. The numbers that appear most often. There can be more than one. Put none if there is no mode. Tells you all the information about finding the mode. Range. The largest value minus the smallest value. Okay? So, between the 2 chem charts, you had all the information you needed for all 10 of these questions. Okay? The only thing you really had to do on your own was to be able to work those problems out for 7 through 10. Well, actually just for 7 and 8. Because both of those involve some division. Okay? So if your division is not where it needs to be, that is what you need to be working on at home on a consistent basis until you get really good at it. Okay? Now, when you add all these numbers up and divide, your mean should have come out as 9.5. Your median, there were 2 middle numbers, 10 and 11. Which your chem chart says, add them together, divide by 2. 10 plus 11 is 21. You divide by 2, you would have got 10.5. Okay? The mode was 11 and the range was 11. Okay? Does not get any easier, guys. The quizzes are just to see that you are studying. And if we don't pass the quizzes, that means that we probably didn't study the way that we should have. Okay? You're going to have to do that. Anytime I give you information, you need to take it home that day and become familiar with it. If you're not familiar with it after that day, you need to keep studying until you become familiar with it. Okay? We're going to have to really stay on top of things in this math this year. Okay?